Kaylee.
Breakfast, my dog, and my cat.
They're all sick?
No, they're all dead.
Well,
and my grandpa.
I think it might be a little late to pray for them.
Okay.
So, your grandpa, did you say?
Uh-huh.
And your Paul, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Of dad.
Yeah. Do you have anybody we need to pray for? Everybody's well at your house.
I don't know why I'm looking at that because I just said I couldn't line.
I see.
No. Some people I don't remember my name.
Okay, we're going to pray now. Stop. Well, then stop holding it down. Okay, we're going to close our eyes, bow our heads, and talk to Jesus. Just all to learn something, take something home with us. We ask God that you be in this service. Pastor Alex, as he brings this message, Lord, and we just ask that you be with all of us today, be with Katie's grandpa and Shelby's Paul. You see the needs there, Lord. We just ask that you would touch their bodies. And Father, we do you remember what the story was last week?
Yeah. The 3 men in the fire.
Right. There was a 4th man in the fire. Right, Jesus was there, wasn't he? Okay, so today I'm going to tell you another story about.
At first I forgot, but then when she said it, I was
Did you remember that? Well, good.
well, I forgot that she
Good to go?
Yeah. Nisha.
Old man. Can you see him?
Oh,
Right here?
that's who I know.
Yeah. He's an old man. Kings come and go. And so now there's another new king that he has to talk to. And this new king, his name was Darius. And King Darius decided that he had such a large kingdom, he decided to divide it up into providences, they called them. Which would be
Parks?
no, providences.
I
Or
don't
like-
know what that
Or like counties. You know how Florida has. Well, they
No,
do.
I don't know what counties are.
Okay, well, anyway, he decided to divide his kingdom up. Providence had a mayor, and they would take care of everything. And then over those 120 men that he put in charge, he had three governors. Yeah. And they would take care, all those men would answer to them. So Daniel was one of the 3. He was put in charge. And the other 2 men, they weren't real happy about that. They didn't like Daniel being in charge. So they decided that they needed to come up with a plan to get rid of Daniel. They didn't like Daniel. Here they are. Here's the 2 fellas.
What is a mayor? I don't like that. I don't know. What is a mayor?
He's in charge of the city.
And I heard to trust this guy right here.
You don't trust him?
No, I don't trust any of those guys.
Okay, well, these 2 men, they came up with an idea. They said, well, we need to find a way to get rid of Daniel. And what we'll do is, we'll try to catch him not doing his job very well. But though they watched him all the time, Daniel was trustworthy. He was responsible. He took care of all of his job really well. And they couldn't find anything. And they thought, wow, how are we going to get rid of him? And so they decided that the only way they could do that would be through his religious rules, his church rules. They thought they could get rid of him that way. He prayed to. And so they went to the king, and they went to the king and they said, King Darius, live forever. We have a great plan. Well, maybe they didn't.
I don't want my mask on this baby. What happened to that thing? She broke it off. Yeah.
I'll use it again.
Yeah, what happened to the someone throw it again?
Yeah.
It's
So
gone.
Daniel heard that. Anyway, Daniel heard that they had made a new law. So within the next 30 days, if anybody prayed to other than the king, they would pray to the king. Can the king answer prayers?
No.
I said, can the king answer your prayers?
Yeah. No.
Think he can?
No.
No, probably not. That's why we pray to God.
Yeah. God could do it.
God answers prayer, doesn't he?
Unless now.
Right.
We can hear all the music in here,
Can you?
but just louder.
So when Daniel heard about the law, he went back to his home, and what do you think the first thing he did? He prayed.
Oh,
And Daniel didn't just pray once a day.
I can hear that.
He prayed in the morning, he prayed at noon, and he prayed in the evening. Are you listening, girls?
Yeah, but I can hear that.
So, okay, on with the story. So some of the men, a couple of those men, they went to Daniel's house and they stood down here in the bushes
Ooh.
and they watched
What
Daniel.
is this?
They watched Daniel pray and they said, oh, we caught him. That Daniel, one of his administrators, one of the men that worked for him, was praying to his God. And the king said, oh, no. And they said, do you remember the law, king? The law is if anybody is caught praying to their God, they will be thrown in the lion's den.
Oh, I remember that time when
Do you?
when
Okay,
it goes back up, go down to the lines there.
okay, wait a minute, wait, shall we?
Don't tell me.
So
I don't know.
they said, now king, you know what you're gonna have to do? You're gonna have to throw Daniel in the lion's den.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And the king spent all day trying to think of a way that wouldn't happen. Because he liked Daniel. And he knew Daniel was a hard worker. And he was trustworthy. He didn't want to throw Daniel in the lion's den.
I want to see the picture.
Just a minute. And then the king said, I don't know what I'm going to do. Because when the king made a law, it couldn't be changed. It was like written in stone. It was forever.
What was it?
The law was they weren't allowed to pray for 30 days to anybody but the king. That was the law.
My mom actually got me healed.
Nice.
Great.
Have a seat, Zoe. We're doing the story.
Okay. You look pretty. Thanks. Really pretty. Thanks. That's what the dress I'm wearing. Black stripes.
Okay, girls, let's finish the story.
Full stripes.
So the king couldn't figure out a way to keep Daniel out of the lion's den. And so that evening, the men came to him and they said, all right, you made that law, king, you're going to have to keep it. And so he said, bring Daniel and put him in the lion's den. so they lowered him down in.
Uh-oh.
See those lions?
No,
I think he was really praying now. Yeah, I think he was asking God to
there's a
help him.
lion.
This picture is better. And then the king had a big, he had a big stone rolled over top of the lion's den.
I see some blood.
Do you see some blood?
Yeah, look.
So there must have been some other people.
Or maybe it's ketchup or mustard. Oh, it looks like there's some green. That's probably an apple that they go down there for the lions.
Oh, an apple.
And then it's flattered.
So
Or
Daniel,
maybe the
Daniel
one is
spent the whole night with those lions. And God sent an angel. And the angel shut the mouths of the lion. And I know what you're going to say next. And
God helped him.
yes, he did. He saved him, didn't he? And not one of those lions took a bite out of Daniel.
Not even his foot.
They didn't even lick him.
Not even a love lick.
Nope, nothing.
Not even one of his. Yeah.
The king, all night long, he paced back and forth, and he worried, and he fasted even. He didn't eat anything. Nope, that's the king. He was in his bedroom, and he was trying to figure out what was going to happen to Daniel, and he felt so bad. Daniel was in that lion's den.
I need to say something to the king. Don't feel bad, king. Don't feel bad, king. He's not. The lions are not doing anything to him.
Okay.
God is helping him.
But the king didn't know that.
He was
in his room.
I'm just telling you
Oh,
that,
you're telling
king.
him. Okay.
And okay, stop. We're going to set where
Yeah.
listening to a
And
story.
he had even asked Daniel before he threw him in the lion's den. He said, will your God protect you? Will your God keep you safe? But he wasn't sure. And there, let's look at Daniel again down in that lion's den.
Yeah.
I think that's a great picture.
Yeah. That lion looks sad.
And I'm sure that Daniel prayed all night.
And it's a sound dummy and not look like that.
You know, there's a
It
lion.
looks like a lion. This picture is worse.
So finally morning came, and the king hurried out, and he looked down into the lion's den, and he said, Daniel, did your God, whom you serve faithfully, did he protect you? And Daniel looked up and he answered and he said, O king, live forever. My God protected me. And he sent an angel to shut the mouths of the lions. And Kaylee, and he said, here I am, king. And the king said, get him out of there. And so they got Daniel out of the lion's den. And we're back to the first picture because I wanted you to see that the king was so glad. And do you know what the king did? Those men that had wanted Daniel thrown in the lion's den.
Whoa.
And the lions ate them.
Why?
You protect those two men because they didn't believe in God. They didn't pray to God. They had their idols that they prayed to. So that's
Idols mean
right.
it's good they got thrown in there because they learned a lesson.
They were evil, weren't they?
I'm being nice and quiet so I can get a toy.
Yes, you can. And that is the end of my story.
Okay. Like, what is going on?